Hi, I'm Heather Noel. I've spent over 30 years working with clients one-on-one. But about 7 years ago, something unexpected started happening, and it kept happening. Instead of focusing on analysis or working through anything, I found myself asking clients to briefly name what was going on and how it felt, and then we set that aside. After that, I would create a story, completely in the imagination, with no fear in it at all. They would close their eyes, listen fully, and that was it. And every single time, and this is the part that matters, whatever they came in with just wasn't there anymore. Not reduced, not managed, gone. And it didn't come back. I don't have an explanation for why this happens or why it happened for every single person, without exception. I'm not trying to convince anyone or make claims I can't prove. I'm just telling you honestly what I observed over and over again. For a long time, I couldn't figure out how to share this without doing private sessions. And then something clicked. I realized these same kinds of stories, created entirely from love with no fear introduced, would be perfect for children, because they naturally go all the way into imagination. And then I gave those same recordings to people I had already worked with. They had the same experience listening to the recordings as they did when we worked together. That's when I knew the live session wasn't the key part. The immersion was. You can listen to these stories casually. You can half listen, think about other things, multitask. You might still enjoy them, but that's not where this happens. When your eyes are closed and your attention is fully inside the story, that's when something shifts. If you listen casually, you might miss what's possible here and not even realize it. So, if you want to experience this, go all the way in. Close your eyes, use headphones, and just listen. Then see how you feel at the end. Children naturally go all the way into imagination. They don't need instructions. They don't need to be told to focus or stay present. Whether it's a dragon, a mermaid, or flying through the sky, they're already there. They're not half listening while thinking about something else. They're inside it, and because of that, they feel it fully. The same kind of immersion is available to you. One of the easiest and most powerful ways to do this is at bedtime. When you go to bed, you're already letting go of the day. Your mind naturally loosens its grip, less analyzing, less filtering, less trying to figure things out. The usual noise that competes with imagination is already quieting down. Your mind responds to how you feel, whether it's real or imagined. As you drift towards sleep, you're not holding on to a story in the same effortful way. You're not trying to follow it or remember it. You just fall into it. Your imagination takes over more completely. Instead of splitting your attention, part in the story, part in your thoughts, you're almost entirely inside the experience. That's a very different state. As you fall asleep, you're not drifting off inside worry or replaying the day. You're falling asleep inside a world where only love is present. No effort, no trying, no analyzing, just full immersion, right at the point when your mind is most open. What's different about the stories you'll find on Velvet Sky Dreams is what's not there. There's no threat, no villain, no danger, no conflict, no emotional problem that needs solving. You're not trying to navigate a difficult world. You're simply being invited into a beautiful one. And if you think about the last thing you experienced before sleep, that matters. Whether you're an adult or a child, your imagination doesn't separate real and imagined. If you imagine being chased, it feels real. If you imagine flying through a sky filled with light, that feels real too. The imagination is where the experience happens. So the emotional tone you fall asleep inside of matters. In these stories, that tone stays the same from beginning to end. Not playful and then tense, not beautiful and then dangerous, just welcoming. That's a very different place to fall asleep. If you'd like to experience this for yourself, there's a link in the description to an immersive excerpt from A Dream Within a Dream.